everybody, and welcome to Heel Heat. This is our Ring of Honor show for the week. As you can see, unfortunately Gary was not able to join us this week, but we'll go right into the show. First we have Jay Lethal versus Jimmy Jacobs. A fantastic opening match, I thought, in my mind. Jimmy Jacobs is somebody that's really undervalued. I mean, other than Ring of Honor, other than places like Dragon Gate, other than Evolve, I mean, we really haven't seen him get a solid push. And I know a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's had drug issues, but supposedly he's been clean and sober for almost 2 years now, and hopefully sooner than later he gets a big push, maybe even the TV championship in Ring of Honor, which the only title he's held has been the tag team title. But I hope, because I do enjoy his work, that he goes on to bigger and better things. Jay Lethal, what can you say about the guy? He was working the injured leg angle, which if you've seen the Border Wars pay-per-view or Ring of Honor show, I believe it was last week or the week before, they showed the match from there where he hurt his leg, so Kevin Steen had to intervene. It was a decent match, hot opening match for the show. Ring of Honor, as always, gives us right off the bat quality content. Now, the next thing we had, they come up, Nigel McGuinness is in the ring, and he calls out Jay Briscoe. You know, pretty much talks about the competitors. He has challengers coming up for him, which brings out Mark Briscoe, who says, you know, you're not being humble. Our father raised us to be humble. And one way or another says, you know, it ends up, they set up a match for Jay versus Mark Briscoe, which is, if anybody's been a long-time fan of Ring of Honor, that was the first feud that Mark had coming in the Ring of Honor, because Jay, when they ran the first shows, Jay was over 18, Mark was under 18. Jay was able to wrestle, but Mark couldn't in the states they were running. So they had to wait till about, I believe it's the 5th or 6th show, I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, it may have been earlier, it may have been later, for Mark to get over the age of 18 and be on the show. But, again, got the Briscoe brothers fighting. Should be an awesome matchup. Both Briscoe brothers are really good talents in the ring, whether it's single or tag team. Now, speaking of tag teams, the next thing we had was a tag team match. Cliff Compton and Red Titus versus Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander. Again, another match where Alexander was playing off a shoulder injury that he took at the pay-per-view. A decent match, the heels win here. Coleman and Alexander are growing on me more and more. The more I see of them, the better I like them. Cliff Compton and Red Titus I really like. I like them as a team. I like them singly. I think they're a team or singles wrestlers that could go really well. I could easily see Cliff Compton as a Ring of Honor World Champion and Red Titus as the TV Champion. Which brings us into our next and main event match of the night. The former TV Champion Adam Cole versus the former World Champion Kevin Steen. Another great match. I really enjoyed it. These are two guys I really like, and I enjoy what they do. They sold it really well, especially at the end, where Cole blissfully ignored Scum interfering and costing Steen the match, which if you watch Border Wars again, they teased whether Cole was going to join Scum or not. Carino played it up on commentary perfectly, and much to add to this, you know, Steve Carino being added with Kevin Kelly has made 100% difference on the commentary. Their work together, I mean, Kevin Kelly's not one of my favorite announcers, but Carino working with him has made a way better team than the sum of their parts. And I like Steve Carino. Not a huge fan of Kevin Kelly. I haven't ever really liked him. He's very generic, very, I don't know how you could say this, and he almost seems like a sports team's home announcer, if you know what I mean. Like, he's always cheering on the faces way too much. And that's part of what his deal is. He's a face commentator. But we're getting off the subject. The match itself, Stephen Cole was very good. Adam Cole seems to be, after having a breakout year in 2013, seems to be riding that wave all the way to the top this year. And I believe very soon we're going to see Adam Cole winning the Ring of Honor World Championship, and I would not be surprised if when he gets a rematch with Jay Briscoe, he takes it from him. And Kevin Steen, of course, is awesome. But basically that's all we had on the show. We'll go right into the rating system. Now, if you have watched our shows, you know what we go on a 1 to 5 system. If not, I'll explain it right now. Basically, 5 is going to be the best, 1 is going to be the worst. And I would give this show a solid 4. Nothing really wrong with the show. All the matches were good. The segment with the Briscoes was very enjoyable. The only thing I didn't like was you had 2 matches where an injury angle was played up. The Lethal Jacobs and Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander versus Compton and Titus. Other than that, I thought it was a fantastic show. But that's what brought it from being a 5 to a 4, in my opinion. But basically, that's all I have to say about this. This has been our Heel Heat Ring of Honor show for the week. My name is George Coles, and this is Heel Heat.